The 300 Spartans versus Xerxes' army wasn't just Sparta versus Persia. It was the spiritual conflict behind Daniel 10:20, where Michael and Gabriel contended with the Prince of Persia, clearing the way for the Prince of Greece to rise. Most people don't realize this happened in the same era, because while the world saw 300 men holding a mountain pass, heaven was dealing with the power behind an empire. Daniel was told Persia's spiritual ruler was being resisted, and once he fell, Greece would rise. And that shift lines up with the exact window of the Greco-Persian Wars. Let me substantiate it. First, the Xerxes from 300 was real. Xerxes I of Persia, the same king who married Esther, the woman God used to protect Israel from annihilation. Second, the famous stand of the 300 at Thermopylae happened during the very era God was orchestrating events to preserve his people. The clash of empires wasn't just political, it was part of a larger divine timeline. And now, once again, the world watches Persia and Israel collide. Different leaders, same ancient fault line. History isn't repeating. It's revealing God's hand across time. In Daniel 10:20, the angel tells Daniel he must return to fight the Prince of Persia, and that after him, the Prince of Greece will come. This moment occurs roughly 2 generations before Esther. Daniel lived in the era of Esther's grandfather, which means the spiritual conflict Daniel witnessed was already in motion long before Esther ever stood before Xerxes. The Prince of Persia dominates during Esther's time, during the reign of Xerxes, the same Xerxes portrayed in 300. But Daniel also says that once Persia's spiritual ruler is confronted, the Prince of Greece will come. So, when does Greece rise? Right at the outbreak of the Greco-Persian Wars. Right at the moment of Thermopylae. Right when the 300 make their stand and the balance of world power begins to shift. In other words, the earthly clash between Persia and Greece mirrors the spiritual battle Daniel says was already decided in the unseen realm 2 generations earlier. And today, as Iran and Israel face each other once again, the pattern is hard to ignore. Empires move, nations clash. But scripture shows there is always more happening than what we see. History isn't just repeating, it's revealing the same spiritual fault lines Daniel saw 2,500 years ago. And here's the personal reality. Just as Daniel's unseen battles shaped the world that future generations of God's people would inherit, the spiritual battles you fight today may determine the future of children and grandchildren who aren't even born yet. You may not see the fruits of the victory in your generation, but those victories will secure the destiny of a generation yet to be born.